basketball!
What's going on, GMLB family? Welcome back to another NBA basketball podcast hosted by me, Mike Bankshot, and my co-hosts, Daniel, Victor, and Kevin. Today we got a lot to unpack, but first we want to thank you all for 800 subscribers on the YouTube channel. We continue to grow and we continue to thank you. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure to rate the podcasts. And let's just unpack what we got here today. The conclusion of the NBA season, my Boston Celtics have won the NBA championship. I told y'all all season, but I'm sure we'll get into that. We got some interactive segments, including guessing the top 10 players with the most rings. After that, we got NBA news, the Lakers hiring JJ Redick today. And then the Bulls trading Caruso for Josh Giddey. And then Monty Williams fired, Zach LaVine and trade rumors. There's a lot to unpack there as well. So I'll go ahead and pass this off to Kevin to get us introduced to the conclusion of the NBA season. Kevin, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so as you said, the NBA season has concluded, if you can tell, the way his happy ass was talking at the beginning of this episode. The reason why is because Boston is City of Champions. Congratulations to you and your squad. I would love to see it for my team one day. So yeah, 2024 season has come to an end. Boston Celtics pretty much rounded the Dallas Mavericks off earlier this week in just 5 games. Didn't ever really seem close, even the game that Dallas won. But yeah, NBA season's a wrap. It came and it went pretty fast. I was a little bit underwhelmed with the playoffs this year. I'm not going to lie. About a week or two out, even a month out, us four were really talking about how this could be like damn near the greatest playoffs ever. I don't think any of you said that, but I know I for sure said that, which was, I definitely overhyped it a little bit. It's kind of underwhelming. I expect to see a little bit more, but otherwise I did enjoy watching, and I did watch a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say just like looking into the season, there's no reason why it shouldn't have been one of the best playoffs ever. Like the parity, especially in the West, was insane. So I definitely agree. Like I don't fault you for saying that. I think this playoffs should have been a lot better. People are kind of overreacting, saying it's like the worst ever. I think that's because Boston just tends to get hate because it's really not the worst. It's not even close to the worst finals ever. I don't even think it's the worst finals of this decade so far because we do have 5 different champions, but I don't know, calling the bubble the worst championship is kind of unfair because it's like the bubble, but I'm interested. What do you guys got to say about this Boston championship?
I mean, pretty much they went out there and did what they were supposed to do. They built up that team nice this past offseason. They had really high expectations coming into the season with them just having, honestly, the most pressure out of any team besides the defending champions, Denver Nuggets. They got knocked off in the second round. And they lived up to the expectation. The expectation was to go to the championship, not just go to the championship, but to win it too. With acquiring Kristaps Porzingis, with acquiring Drew Holiday, trading longtime Boston Celtic, Marcus Smart, made all the right moves, it seemed like. You know, obviously trading for Derek White some time ago just took their team to a whole another level. I believe he'll be getting an extension this summer too of $127 million with incentives in order to keep him around, which will be huge. They definitely do need to bring him down. But yeah, honestly, like, not really too much bad to say. Lost 18 games all year, went out there, won the championship. What'd they lose? Like 3 games in the playoffs total?
Yeah.
3 or 4? 3. I think it was 3. But yeah, I mean, they went out there and did what they were supposed to do. You know, they had the expectations were high just because of how good they've been as 3-4 years. So I knew they were eventually going to get it. I knew at 1 year they were going to figure it out. This was the year, and they did it.
Happy for Jaylen Brown. He's one of my kind of overall favorite players to watch right now. So I'm happy for him winning Finals MVP. Applaud to him. But yeah, I mean, like Kevin said, I think that the reason why them winning is kind of lacking that excitement that we get from other champions is that, you know, they did what they were supposed to do. And there's times when teams come into the NBA, or not into the NBA, but there's times that teams start to form and you just know that they're going to be good. And if they don't win it all, then it's really a bust. And I think I've said that before, you know, even just for example, with the Warriors and KD, not at all a similar situation, but somewhat similar in the way that that's the expectation is there for you guys to go out and perform and win a championship. And if you do that, then everyone will applaud you. But, don't expect anyone to say that your ring is the most valuable ever. But yeah, credit to all the guys on that team. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Porzingis, all those guys played their part. Happy for Boston. I got really nothing to say. I mean, Tatum and Jaylen Brown have always been somewhat to themselves. People just give them hate because of, the made up shit, but those are good guys, and I'm happy for Tatum. Also winning a championship at 27, right? So he's younger than a
He's
bunch of
19
people.
actually, but
Right. Tatum is still 19, but yeah, he's on a list of youngest NBA champions, and the names that he now jumped in front of are some pretty heavy hitters. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, dude. I was expecting a little bit of a bigger fight out of the Mavericks, but the Celtics were just dominant, man. They really played their best basketball against the Mavericks, and it just showed like the Mavericks had limitations on the offense, and with like PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, those guys being so one dimensional hurt them, and they don't. I think next offseason Mavericks need to probably get a little bit of a better bench and some shooters to develop around that. But one thing I wanted to ask you guys was about the Finals MVP. Do you guys think that Jaylen Brown should have won Finals MVP or should it have been Tatum?
yo, let me cook real quick. Let me cook real quick. I'm glad you asked that because first of all, GMLB family, I called that shit a month ago before these playoffs started that he would win it, but that's besides the point.
2 months.
Here's what I got to say. I got to say that I would be completely fine. Victor and I were talking more like arguing about this when we were watching the MVP go down, but I am very for having a co-finals MVP where they split it and they both get the honor, Tatum and Brown, because bro, their stats are so similar and the games they've played, like they each had the same amount. They each had two great games and then, they each had a bad game. But I seriously think that a co-finals MVP, like if there's any time it should have ever been, it is this year, and I firmly believe that. I don't care how stupid anyone thinks it is. I think they should have split it because there's co-rookie of the years, there's co-most improved players. We haven't seen a co-MVP, but that's a whole season worth. Like this is just one series, which was only 5 games. So co-finals MVP, I think it should have been that. Personally, I'm okay with Jaylen Brown just to answer the question, but I would have liked to see that. That would have been cool.
I don't know. I mean, in some situations, I am for kind of like the co side of things, give two people a trophy. In the finals MVP case, honestly, I don't really like love that idea just because then I feel like where does it stop, right? That if one year you have three guys that are on the same team and they're all just putting in work the way that we've seen in the past with super teams, then do you give it to three of them? Do you give it to two? I would rather just see it stay at one. But to go back to the earlier question, yeah, I mean, I've been pretty adamant this entire season on GMLB about how I feel about Jaylen Brown and how I felt that he is kind of the superstar, not a superstar, but a great player that just goes under a lot of people's radar, and they can't really appreciate how good he is unless you're really watching those games. And the games that I did catch, I always felt like Jaylen Brown was such an instrumental and big part of this team. So for that reason, once they went into the finals and even just going into game 3 of that last series versus the Mavericks, Jaylen Brown was the leading scorer, I think, and then followed by Drew Holiday and then Jason Tatum at third. Not to say that, you can't influence the floor in other ways and, points aren't everything. But again, just from a person that likes Jaylen Brown and watches him play, I think a lot of the things that he does goes under the radar, and his value as a player for a long time has gone kind of just it's just been overlapped by the name of Tatum. And I think that this was a really well-deserved MVP for him. He put in the work and he's been in that fight just like Jason Tatum this entire time. I agree with the vote to go to him.
I think it was cool that I was went to him because he also did get the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So him getting that Finals MVP too I think it was cool. I think he played well enough. I feel like that might have given him a little bit of an edge to win the Finals MVP. Maybe not. It's a completely different series, completely different team. That's besides the point. But I feel like it was definitely well deserved. I feel like Jaylen Brown, he was playing very well on offense, shooting efficiently. He brought a lot of energy on defense, and he was also playmaking as well. Tatum was also doing those things, but with just how identical those two are when the team's playing good, it really just is hard to justify who has better nights and really just kind of who to give the word to. If it was given to Tatum, I would not have argued. I would have said the exact same thing as I did for Jaylen Brown. I feel like this is more so, I guess, however the voters were feeling. I still think that, to me, it's still pretty, I don't want to say obvious, but to me, it's clear of who the best player is on the Boston Celtics. So I don't really think this changes anything between those two guys. I mean, regardless if they want to win, both those guys are going to have to go out there and do a lot to win. And they did.
Jaylen Brown, yes, he killed it. He guarded Luka a majority of the series. He played really well too, but I think Tatum played just as good. The only thing he didn't do was shoot efficiently. And I think that he has a lot of haters too, and I think that impacted the decision on the MVP, and the NBA media like quickly ate that up and kind of forced like this Jaylen Brown should win Finals MVP. And I feel like the NBA media has been getting in the way of like giving the MVP to the right person sometimes. I don't know what you guys think about that.
False. I just wanted to say that. I don't even know if I believe it or not.
What
But
is the voting system for it?
I just looked it up. It's after the last game, once a champion is selected, 11 folks cast a vote for who they think the MVP should be. So the voters are normally picked from a group of national and international sports reporters, is how it's picked, which is interesting.
That's pretty unbiased, I think.
I feel like
and 11 people's a lot.
I feel like Joe Mazzulla should have had I figured like Joe Mazzulla would have like 40 to 50% stake in that vote of who gets that
Ooh.
MVP. But
I think that's a little too high, but I agree with that statement.
I mean, that's like their coach, that's the guy who's like rooting for all of them, and he's the one who's gonna say like who executed the best, like who stuck to the plan, who did their best work, because he's watching them the hardest. So,
But I feel like that's just so hard. Like I feel like that's just like a really tough position to put into coach, like to put a coach in,
Yeah.
especially Joe Mazzulla. He didn't even give a shit about himself winning coach of the month or whatever the hell that award is. So I feel like I feel like certain coaches really just would not want to be put in that position and honestly don't even care about being put in that position.
I mean, usually there is a clear-cut winner. I feel like this is the only year where like it would have been hard. Like every other finals MVP this decade has like been very clear-cut on who should have won. So I don't feel like there's that much pressure. I feel like this is the only year this decade that there would be pressure, but also they would only have like half of the stake. Like it wouldn't be everything. But I don't
Right.
know. I just think he should have some kind of stake in that vote.
Me and Victor last night tried to look up if Joe Mazzulla is like the fastest NBA coach to win a championship. He's not. There was what's a player coach?
It's a player that coaches, like Bill Russell, like played and also coached.
Not at the same time, right?
No, at the same time.
At the same time.
That's what a player coach is.
Okay, because that's what it was. It was like this dude in 1946 was a player coach for the Bullets, and he won
It
a
doesn't count.
championship
That
in his
shit don't
first
count.
city. Yeah, but I was kind of just pointing that out because I think it is really impressive that Joe Mazzulla did it as quickly as he did, no matter what the situation he was coming into. And obviously, they loaded up their team. They got Drew Holiday, they got Porzingis, but still, you got to go out there and lead your team to win a good game. So I don't know, a lot of respect for Joe.
Ime Udoka, horny ass. He saw the chip and fell to his knees in the Walmart parking lot, bro.
Someone said
He was
Marcus
pissed.
Smart. Someone said Marcus Smart was the sacrificial lamb for Boston to win a championship. And
They
I
gave
kinda
Smart
really
the
was.
they gave Smart the DeRozan treatment, bro, where you get traded, your team just wins the chip after being there for damn near 10 years. It's
After being
crazy.
like one of the longest tenured players there when they were there in the finals back in 2022. That just sucks. I'm sure he's happy for them, but he's got to be pissed off.
In reality, we won because we got rid of Grant Williams.
And Rob Williams.
No, Grant Williams especially. He was holding the team back. That's why the Mavs
That's
also traded him.
we need to clip that because Miles just never talks about Grant Williams like that.
I know.
I just
That was for the
yeah,
fans.
right,
No,
yeah.
since
But it's,
the Celtics won, they have to bring back Grant Williams. That was the rule for the finals. Custody over him.
no, he can stay in Charlotte. Where just career burn. We'll never hear from that guy again. I promise you. I promise you we'll never hear from that guy again.
Damn, that's a
Damn, bro.
promise.
Hey, somehow we hear of PJ Washington. PJ Washington has become a household name now, and that man was in Charlotte. So there's always hope to turn it around, I guess, to look on the bright side.
Well, actually, Kevin might be right because I feel like Charlotte is just such a poverty franchise, man. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
they
Bro,
where
definitely are.
I feel like Washington is just so much worse. Like not even close. Like I feel like has
Washington's
good
not even in a good city.
Charlotte has good fans. They have loyal fans. They have like a small
do
niche
they?
fan base, and they have good players, bro. Like they have
Do
LaMelo
they though?
Ball. Dude, they do though. Like I feel like that's disrespectful to Charlotte. I feel like Washington and like Portland are so much worse.
Nah.
Portland has like Simons. I was
Yeah,
gonna
but
say DeAndre Ayton, but that's just a lie. And I don't even know why that name came to my head. Shaden Sharp, he's cool. Who else is over there?
no. I'm
Scoot.
not talking like exclusively talent because they have talent. I'm saying like their actual fan base sucks. Like it's just a shitty like that. It's like a poverty franchise. I feel like Charlotte isn't actually a poverty franchise. Their team just sucks,
But their team really sucks.
but not as bad as Portland or Washington. So
I'll
like
be honest. I don't give a damn about the fans. Like a team's fan base does not even it
I'm
does
just saying
not remotely
like
matter to me.
actual franchise wise, Charlotte isn't bad. Their team horrible. Their team is horrible though.
They have everything. They have a good city, cool jerseys, cool colors. I suppose, like you said, good fans. Never really paid attention. I don't watch a lot of Charlotte basketball. I'm going to be honest. Cool mascot, but yeah, their team just sucks.
They just got maybe the most unserious 19 or 20-year-old, however old LaMelo was when they bought him. They just got the most unserious NBA player to ever touch a court. Maybe. Quite
Got about
possibly.
a few of them actually.
I feel like their players are always like on some bullshit. Like we saw like Kai Jones, we saw you
Yeah,
know, you know who I'm talking about. We saw that guy. PJ Washington, I'm pretty sure has been arrested before while he was in Charlotte. So someone else there. Oh, Book Knight. What's it? Boo Knight? Book Knight? I don't know how to
James
say it.
Book Night.
Book Knight, yeah. So I mean
Victor, did you
but
say you earlier?
I got some
Sorry.
work to
Go ahead.
do.
No, I didn't say that. Why would I say me?
No, you said you. Like we were talking about the Blazers. Kevin asked who's on that
Oh,
team,
I
and you
said
said
Scoot.
you. Oh, I thought you said you.
My God, I
No.
forgot. I forgot about Scoot. So, did you
Um,
guys think that Tatum was going to try to recreate that Kobe picture?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Man, okay,
honestly,
listen, I'm gonna be honest. He tried so hard to get a viral moment. So
I'm glad
even
he
so,
brought
you're
that up.
we did it. Shut the fuck up.
Dude,
I'm serious.
I wrote down every possible thing you could have said, and I have a rebuttal written down. So go ahead, fire away at what you want to fire away at.
That's all I had to say.
I
He
have
just tried.
everything ready.
That's all I said is that he just tried to get a post viral moment, and
So
I just
remember
had
when
a
he
feeling that
was
he was gonna do that.
remember when he had the trophy and he was leaned up against the doorway or the wall? And there was like chairs next to him. Someone said the chairs were talking to him like fucking Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man. Dude, that shit had me fucking crying because you could tell, dude, he was kept on looking over at the fucking chair. He wanted to sit down so bad. Nah, I'm just playing. Does anyone know why though? Like me and Victor were talking about this. Does anyone know like has that ever happened where one player like just carries the trophy that long?
Bro, he would not let that thing go.
I know Miles doesn't like this, but like I'm being so serious. Like he held it for longer than I think I've ever seen a champion
Yeah,
like hold it. I
yeah.
Curry didn't
Honestly,
hold it that long. Kevin
right.
Durant didn't hold it that long.
Yeah, I would let the Finals MVP hold it the longest.
He wasn't even in the locker room. He was still on the court, bro. Who are you gonna hand the trophy to?
So you run away.
Bro.
So he runs away with it into the locker room with Deuce.
That's
Hides in
where
a
it
closet and
goes.
locks
That's where
himself.
that's where the fucking team is. That's where the trophy's gonna go, bro. If Jaylen
Where
Brown was on the
was he?
court taking pictures the entire time Tatum was in there. Plus,
Honestly,
Jaylen
All right,
Brown
hold
was
on.
holding his Finals MVP, bro.
so no, hold on. I'm gonna say something. I think that there is a possibility that this is not Jason Tatum's fault, and that someone like with all the fucking what's the word setup that they do for this stuff, someone may have been like, "Hey, you're gonna hold on to this for a while now because we got to get a lot of pictures with you in it and stuff, and then we'll take you back and you can celebrate with the team." I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's what happened. Even if whoever made that decision is stupid, because it basically just looked like Jason Tatum was walking around with that trophy for 45 minutes after the game ended. I don't know. I was just that was blown away. I was blown away by that.
Bro, I don't mean to call y'all out, bro, but we watched 10 minutes of it, bro. That man held that trophy for 10 minutes, and then Victor said, "All right, man, let's get out of here. You ready to go?" And y'all left my crib. So I don't want to hear this bullshit. Oh, he's holding the trophy too long. Real time, it was 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes real time. We watched that. So
Here's why it
I don't
felt.
want to fucking hear
I
it.
saw a
Here's what-
picture of him earlier in Miami holding the trophy.
Yeah, he's still holding it. He is holding it in Miami
I
too.
saw that earlier today.
And then he was
He's
on
the
the
only one
plane.
holding it.
He
was on the
walked on the plane holding the trophy.
I haven't seen one picture of Drew Holiday, Porzingis,
Of
Jaylen Brown,
nobody's
Joe
on the-
Mazzulla. Not one of them is carrying that trophy.
He's holding the trophy.
Hey, no, you know what
People
was
will
funny?
find anything to hate
Hold
on, bro.
You know what was funny? Porzingis got the helmet and he was like lifting it up and down, and then Tatum took it right back. Like Porzingis held it for like 2 seconds, bro.
Porzingis has been there for 1 year and didn't even fucking play in the
I
playoffs, bro.
know.
It's Tatum's team. Let the man hold the fucking trophy. Honestly, bro, the only other person who should hold that trophy is Jaylen Brown.
And he
And
didn't
Joe
I'm
even
gonna be
touch
honest,
it.
bro. I'm gonna be
Joe
honest, bro.
Mazzulla.
And Jaylen Brown didn't even touch it.
Yeah, but he had a fucking Finals MVP trophy to hold. So like
He didn't even look at it.
Tatum
I wonder
should
if-
be able to hold that fucking trophy even tonight. Even a few days later when he lays his head down to go to
He is
bed,
holding it tonight.
he should
he's in
fucking have
Miami
that
with it.
trophy because he
is
deserves
holding
it.
How much, dude? If we personally knew Jason Tatum, I would literally FaceTime him right now, and I guarantee you the fucking trophy would be in his hand like
Yeah.
this.
That would be so
I'd put-
funny, dude.
I'd put $1 million on it there right now. He's holding that thing. That's just so funny.
does
to
it-
think about.
It just looked so bad because when we were watching the game ends, they announce the trophies, yada yada yada. We see you see everyone start lining up for the pictures, and Jason Tatum comes around with the trophy, sets it down, or like he holds it. Then he leaves, and me and Miles and Victor are still talking. Maybe Miles says that like it was only 10 minutes. We were there for 10 minutes until like the camera switched again, and suddenly Jason Tatum was in the back room still holding the trophy. That's why it looked bad, because it looked like this dude had not let it go the entire time. And I don't know, basketball is a team sport, man. I know it's his team. I know that he deserves to hold it, but it all depends on how long, I think.
Yeah, well, Pritchard and Sam Hauser can hold it once it gets back to fucking Boston, all right? They're not
Fair.
dropping 31 points in an elimination game. So fuck them. Let the man live. That man cried real tears. Motherfuckers will do anything to hate on, bro. Hating on a celebration after winning a championship. Because, yeah, that's right. He won. He didn't lose, so you can't hate on him for losing. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and hate on him
Is it really
for
hate?
holding a
it's
fucking
just-
trophy.
It's
it
not
hate?
hate. I'm just saying, like, you'll give it up.
I think it's just a criticism. I don't know if it's hate. Hate would be being like,
Even a criticism,
fuck
bro.
him. Why the fuck was he holding it so long? He didn't do shit this series. But I'm like, no, like he deserves it. But like,
I have a list with the 10 NBA players in the league today with the most rings. You guys got to guess them. Miles is going to go first.
Trying to think. I mean, make sure I'm not missing anyone. I'm gonna go with Stephen Curry.
Stephen Curry is tied for first with 4 rings.
Okay.
Kevin, you're next.
Give me Draymond Green.
Draymond is also tied for first, 4 rings.
Who could it be?
who could it be now? LeBron James.
LeBron is also tied with 4.
Klay
Miles?
Thompson.
Klay Thompson, also tied with 4.
How
All
many
right,
people are
Kevin.
there at a one-way tie? Curious. Is it just those 4?
It was just those 4.
So
That's what I thought.
is that like 1 through 4, or is that just one?
That was 1 through 4.
Okay, word.
I was about to say if that's just one.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, fuck.
Then who else could be on this list? These people dominated these fucking past 10, 15 years. This is BS. Does Pat McCaw still play? Bro won 3 rings his first 3 years in the league. He's not in the NBA anymore, actually. He's in God knows where. Give me KD.
Kevin Durant is number 9 with 2 rings.
That has to be like a bunch of players there, right? With 2
Yeah.
rings.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys. So
Because
there's
Drew
1, 2,
Holiday is
3,
there
4,
now.
5. There's 5 players with 2 rings and then 1 with 3.
Okay.
So Daniel, who's your next guess?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday at number 10 with 2 rings.
I'm gonna go Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi also with 2 rings. We got 3 more.
Is one of them old?
2 of them are vets. I'll say that. One of them,
Okay, like Jason Tatum's a vet. Like,
well, I can't think of their age off the top of my head.
is one of them like old as hell?
Yes, one of them's old.
Jeff Green?
No.
Shit.
All right,
That's
Daniel.
actually not a bad guess. I completely forgot he was active, actually.
Oh, is it a Warrior still?
Getting warmer?
Yeah. Can you tell me if he is a Warrior or no? Or is
Yeah,
that
he's a warrior.
he is a Warrior? Okay.
One of them's a warrior.
Trying to think who's been there. I should know this. Fine. Give me fucking Kevon Looney.
Yes.
There we
Let's
go.
That's what I
Go,
literally saw how
man.
I looked up
There
because
you
I was
go.
like, yeah.
Good shit. Let's
Kevon
go.
Looney.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
at first I was like, it's not Cum Bucket, it's not Cum Bucket, and then I thought of the other. Yeah.
So is that the one that has 3? Right?
No, Kevon Looney is number 6 with 2 rings.
Okay, so the last guy we need has 3, correct?
You have one more with 2 and
We
then
have
one
2
more
more.
with 3.
Oh, okay. Kevin, was Bruce Brown on the Raptors roster when they won the championship? No? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. He just got there. What was I
Just got
thinking
there.
of? What team was he
Bruce
on
Brown.
before the Nuggets? Am I tripping?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's definitely not Brooklyn. Okay. Kevin, do you have one? It has to be someone on the last 5 championship rosters. That's what I've been going through. So
Yeah.
it's not the Nuggets because that's all their first. Never mind. Jokic, Murray, Michael Porter Jr. It's all their first. Ah, KCP.
I know who
It's
it is. Yeah,
KCP.
it is
KCP.
KCP.
Yep.
Forgot about
KCP.
KCP. All right, KCP.
That was
Going
wait.
with one with the Lakers. No, you weren't thinking KCP. Please be quiet.
KCP with number 2. Or no, sorry, KCP at number 7 with 2 rings.
So now the last person has 3 rings. Oh my god.
That's
This
what I'm
one's a
saying,
deep
bro.
cut, bro.
3 rings, bro. Who currently has 3? Who right now in the NBA has 1 less ring than Curry and LeBron? Not a star.
It's got to be a
Clearly.
role player. It's got to be.
Yeah, it's
You guys
100%
want
a
to know
role
what
player.
you guys want to know what team he's on?
Not
No.
yet. That'll be too easy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't honestly. I kind of forgot he was on there.
Well, that's you.
It's
You
got to
guys
be
wanna
someone.
age?
It's got
Huh?
no hints yet. It's
No,
got to
age
be
won't-
someone.
Age won't help me.
It's got to be someone that's on one of the last 5 championship teams. It has to be.
It probably is. I'm thinking the Lakers that year.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. Rondo, JaVale.
Mm.
It's not JaVale. Dwight Howard? No, he only has 1. Rondo, JaVale, Dwight Howard.
And he's not even in the NBA anymore.
True. Yeah, LeBron, KCP, Danny Green.
How about this? Give me what conference are they in?
What did he say?
They're in
To
the
be
Western
quiet?
Conference. Yeah.
Western Conference.
All right. Honestly, someone said the name already.
I feel like I know who said it.
It's not JaVale McGee.
Don't give him any hints.
It's
It might
not.
be.
No way. He has
Is he
one with the
still active?
Lakers. He has three. What
I think
other
he has two
fucking
with the
team?
Warriors. Is it JaVale McGee? That'll be my guess.
JaVale McGee
Son
has
of a
three
bitch.
championships.
JaVale McGee.
Motherfuckers.
He's still active?
Yeah, he's on the Kings.
My God.
He has two with the Warriors for real?
Yeah, he is
I
too.
thought he only had fucking. Damn, bro. I just be giving answers, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, Jamil McGee has 3 rings. Yeah. Shit.
Hey guys, before we get back into the episode, I have an important announcement to make to you guys. And before we do that, I just want to thank you guys for 800 subscribers. It means the world to us, and for you guys to be supporting us on this journey. We couldn't be here without you guys. We're almost there to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're new here and made it this far, please make sure to subscribe and like the video. Helps us out tremendously. But back to news that I want to break to you guys. I wanted the OGs and the loyal fans. You guys know who you guys are. Um, I wanted to say that we decided as a group that we're going to release episodes every other week for the podcast in the summer until season 3 of the new NBA season starts. Just because the news is kind of at a low in the summer and there's not that much news coming out. If there's obviously big news that comes out that week, we'll try to record an extra episode and not stick to the every other week. We just want to push out great content to you guys and try to bring the quality up in the podcast as too coming out season 3. We're trying to better improve the podcast. We're also going to make solo videos and individual videos just to try to supplement those podcasts where you would see those. So make sure to stay tuned for that, and make sure to follow us on IG at GMLB Pod to make sure that you're up to date with everything when videos are releasing for us. So if you guys have any other suggestions or recommendations, make sure to comment those down below too. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and if you guys had any other better ideas. But back to the episode.
All right, to wrap up today's episode, we got some news buzzing around the media for you guys today. Starting off, the Los Angeles Lakers have hired a new puppet in JJ Redick to stand there on the sidelines, his hands in his pockets. I think this
Hands
is
in
stupid.
pockets, mouth agape.
This is dumb. I can't believe that he agreed to this job. This has to be the worst job in sports. Is not only coaching the Lakers, but coaching a team that LeBron James is on.
I can't believe, what do they call it when there's like foul play involved? Like what Jimmy Butler got in trouble for? Tampering. Tampering, that's the word I'm looking for. How is this not
See,
like
tampering
tampering?
only works when someone is on contract with another team. JJ
Oh.
Redick was a podcaster.
See,
He
that's
wasn't
just
really on a
that's literally insane that they have a podcast together and now he's like coaching the Lakers. Like that's got to be
Yeah.
something, bro. Like that has to be something. Like
It's
how
not
are-
because he's not affiliated with any team. He's not a coach for any team. He wasn't a player. It's perfectly fine. Actually,
I'm worried about like his teammates like that aren't LeBron and probably AD. Like how are they going to react when they're like, yeah, okay, JJ Redick is out here coaching us and then him and our veteran best player are going to go film a podcast after, like, or like go out and eat, go out to the club and shit. Like it's just it's so weird for chemistry reasons. I feel like that's going to divide the team.
I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know.
I think the podcast is gonna come to an end once the season starts. There's no way they're gonna have time for
Probably.
that. Being a coach in the NBA, you're not gonna have time to do a podcast on top of it, I think. And
That's true. That's true.
another what you brought up about Anthony Davis, I saw that one of the reasons the Lakers went ahead and got JJ Redick as the coach is because of his plan, what he wants to do with Anthony Davis on the team. And I guess he had like a very good vision for it, and he sold him on it.
but bro, like they should have went out and got Monty Williams. If I'm being completely honest, Monty Williams was a coach in the NBA Finals just a few years ago and led his team to the #1 seed, best record in the NBA. The year the Phoenix Suns were really good. That year, what they lose like 16 games, 15 games, something like that. And plus, Monty Williams coached AD back in New Orleans, and AD was amazing those years. He's putting up like MVP like numbers. Fortunately, the team wasn't very good, but Monty Williams, I feel like, already knows what to do with AD, and it worked. As opposed to JJ Redick having this idea and selling them. He's never coached in his life and immediately jumps to a head coaching role with the biggest market team in the NBA, the LA Lakers. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be an absolute shit show. There's a reason Dan Hurley turned down this job. Clearly wasn't about the money because he got more money than UConn offered him. He still turned it down. It's because you're a puppet.
I like JJ Redick. I really do, but he talks so much shop, and I feel like when it comes to talking basketball, he's almost like a know-it-all. Like he's on air like arguing about certain things, and I'm really, really interested to see if he can back up the way he discusses basketball. Because he seems like a bright mind in basketball, especially like on his podcasts with LeBron and his own. And I'm really, really interested to see if he actually knows what he's talking about. Because if he does do bad as a coach, I don't know how serious it is, but I feel like that could potentially impact his like future broadcasting career as well. Depending if it goes like south fast, I feel like he's going to lose a ton of credibility, and I definitely feel like that might have an effect on his broadcasting career. But I could be grasping at straws there. That was my like initial thought on JJ Redick being hired.
I see what you're saying, but there have been some sports broadcasters that were coaches at one point that after being fired for being a coach, they did join broadcasting. Now his situation is a little bit different, and but just like the way that he is, kind of like I feel like JJ Redick almost like when he like talks ball, he almost has no filter. Like when he was on, I can't remember which show he was on about a year ago, but they were talking about the old time. Someone was talking about Bob Cousy, and he goes, Bob Cousy couldn't dribble with his left hand. He was playing against like plumbers and firemen. No other broadcaster says that. Now, JJ Redick is only 6 months older than LeBron, which is pretty crazy. I mean, which I don't even think it's that crazy because Joe Mazzulla is younger than Al Horford.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say like, is that the youngest coach ever? I didn't realize even as a Celtics fan, Joe Mazzulla was that young. That's crazy.
Joe Mazzulla and Kyrie Irving were in the same draft class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that puts shit into
That
perspective. That's
that
crazy.
is that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm hating or I feel like I know what I'm talking about. I can see what's going to happen, but I just really do not see this turning out well. I like JJ Redick. I like him a lot. Like his podcast. I think he's a pretty solid broadcaster. But as far as an NBA coach, like that's just like a different game that you have to join, especially like the system and that he's going into, the team that he's going into, the players that he's going to coach in his first year ever as a coach. He's going to have LeBron James. Like that's a very, very big task. And there's going to be a lot of expectations that come in. So, and obviously there's the joke that like, LeBron's the coach, this and that. Is he really going to, if it doesn't pan out, is he really going to listen to JJ Redick? I don't know. That's just how I feel.
There's a lot of like theories and like skepticism saying that like basically they started a podcast and that like LeBron was showing JJ like what he likes to run, and then somehow that makes it like for him to show JJ like what he wants to run. That's what he wants to implement in the Lakers offense and see if that could do anything. But I don't know if LeBron's even going to re-sign back with the Lakers because Rich Paul was saying that the idea of him playing with Bronny kind of is out the window now. Or like, oh, I got to look it back up. I forgot what exactly he said.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. LeBron's not leaving LA.
Yeah, I don't think
I
so
don't think
either.
it's
Hold on, I
it's
gotta
gonna be
look it up.
really hard to get him out of LA, bro. Like just like the way his life is right now, like his house and his family, it's all in LA. Just like the lifestyle of LA, like it's gonna be extremely tough to get that guy out of LA.
This is what he said. He said if he does, he does, but there's no deal that if LA drafts Bronny at 55, that LeBron will resign. If it was that the case, he'd force LA to take him at 17th, but the Lakers can draft Bronny, and LeBron may not resign. And LeBron is also not going to Phoenix for the minimum.
I never really saw LeBron going to Phoenix. Is
Yeah,
that too? Another thing is like, where else is he gonna go?
I don't know, man.
Orlando Magic need a veteran.
Not one that old.
I'm a fan of JJ Redick, and like I think he can coach basketball well, but I did not want to see him take the Lakers job. I wanted to see him actually try to go for the Pistons job because I think, like we've said before, like Kevin was saying, like that job with the Lakers is a stressful one. Like all eyes are on you. If you mess up, you're gonna get canned the next season.
It's only up from the Pistons situation. I feel like that's the perfect
True.
situation for you to actually make a name for yourself. Because if you can turn that team around and get them to like, 25, 30 wins, I feel like that's a success. And that's like a very low bar. So plus you have like
Yeah.
players developing, like you have Cade, Ivy, Duran, all have another season under their belt. Star's going to be a sophomore. So like and they have like pieces like Fontecchio's not bad. I mean, Malachi Flynn dropped 50. I'm not going to say he's like a great piece, but you have like talent on that roster. So I was very, very interested in him taking the Pistons job as well. But yeah, taking the Lakers job was an interesting choice, I would say. I guess I'll throw this in here because we're talking about conspiracies. I heard that word on the street is the original JJ Redick tweet from, was it Shams? Was it Shams that tweeted the original JJ Redick? And then Woj dropped the Dan Hurley. I think they worked with Shams, the Lakers, to put that up as a smokescreen to see how the fans and how the NBA pretty much would react to hiring JJ Redick as a coach. So they're gonna put that out there, see what everyone thinks as a smokescreen, put Dan Hurley in as like a serious thing, and no one reacted too harshly to it. So I think that's why they went with them, bro. Word on the street. It's a conspiracy that the first original JJ post was a smokescreen just to for like public relations to see how the NBA bubble world would react to it.
I know Shams caught some backfire for that. They'll be like, "Oh, Shams ain't the goat. This is why we trust Woj." So it's pretty funny. I'm personally more team Woj than I am Shams, just because like many reasons. Not the point of this, but that's pretty funny to think that that was kind of what they were aiming for. I mean, there's no guarantee that Dan Hurley would have been better than JJ Redick. I mean, Dan Hurley coaches a completely different game, and he's a very elite coach, a very intense coach for college, and he's doing great. He's chasing that three-peat with UConn, which I don't know if a three-peat in college March Madness Final Four has ever been done before. But, he's got something to chase. UConn's giving him a bag. Lakers were going to give him a bag too, but not much more money, plus all the extra stress that he would have to deal with. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're going to see. It's definitely going to be interesting. The Lakers, I think, definitely have a lot of work to do outside of hiring a head coach, building up that roster, getting rid of Darvin Ham, which was done. Is back with the Milwaukee Bucks as an assistant. So he found a job pretty quick. Good for him. But yeah, we're just going to
Only they
see
could
where this
bring back
is.
Adrian Griffin as an assistant as well. Maybe they could turn that shit around.
Yeah, no, they need to do a lot more.
I heard that was Giannis's decision bringing back Darvin Ham, and then he also came out and said that the best coach in the world right now is a coach overseas, and I can't remember his name, but
Is he
maybe
is he
Doc.
Greek?
I don't remember. I mean, it might be the Real Madrid coach. I gotta look it up, but that might mean Doc Rivers' job might be on the line.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it Giannis's decision to bring Doc Rivers in as the head coach?
Yeah.
I
Giannis,
don't
It's always
I don't know if his decision is always the best, bringing back
yeah.
Darvin Ham, talking about this overseas guy. But you never know. We don't know jack about overseas coaches, so
Giannis is like slowly becoming unlikable with like how he is with head coaches and stuff, and just his like attitude throughout the season. But regardless,
Yeah, the coach was Greek. He's
Huh.
the
Hmm.
coach of the Greek
oh,
basketball league and Euro League.
Huh.
go figure.
Urgent Ataman.
No connection there, I imagine. Well, yeah, Lakers got JJ Redick. We're just gonna see how this pans out for the Lakers. On another note, the Chicago Bulls have made a trade. They never do this. We know. They ended up trading Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. No picks involved, no money involved. Just boom, boom, move. 1-for-1. Easy. I mean, I don't. I had a lot to say about that earlier in our group chat when we were texting. Just like, okay, sure. Caruso probably just arguably had his best season ever. But he is aging a little bit. He's not old, but he's not. He's certainly not getting any younger. I mean, he's like one of those guys that you'll love to have on your team. I think he's going to be great in OKC. He's going to be great for them. You know, just how young they are having Caruso there. Caruso is an NBA champion. He's an amazing. He was an All NBA defender this year. Play a little bit of offense and playmaking. He had a really good year this year for the Bulls. As far as Giddey, I saw someone say that the reason the Bulls traded for Giddey is because this and that is happening with Lonzo Ball. He might not ever come back, regardless of what the videos we've been seeing of him dunking and hooping or whatever, and that they see all-star level talent in Josh Giddey. He's only 21 years old. And I hope he is all-star level talent because he's on my favorite team now. Shit, he's here. He might as well become an all-star. I won't be mad. But I just don't think so.
Yeah, they might have to check the prescription on their glasses with the Zenny Optical, man, partnership because I don't see the all-star level talent either. I don't know what they're seeing, man.
I mean, this guy was in the rotation all year for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and in the playoffs, just disappeared. He would start the game, and against Dallas in the second half, he wouldn't start the second half at all against Dallas, and then barely touch the floor after that. Young guy. We've seen flashes. Personally, I don't really love to watch him play basketball. Did not really care at all to see him come to Chicago. I mean, sure, bro. Bulls made a move, and that was the move that they made. I anticipate them to make more moves in the future. I actually saw earlier on Twitter that they are heavily active in trading Zach LaVine and have been offered over 15 trade proposals centered around Zach LaVine.
I don't think that they've been offered. I think they've called 15 teams for him.
Called 15?
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing something about like 15 proposals being like, I don't know if they were offered. I kind of used the wrong terminology there. I think some may have been sent out, and like I'm really curious to see like what those proposals like were. Some were with Philly, some were with Sacramento.
Before we talk about LaVine, can I drop a Giddey take on you? I don't want to move on just yet because I didn't get to talk about Giddey. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think Giddey is 21 years old. I think it's actually kind of absurd, like way too early that you guys are counting him out. Like it was so clear that he didn't fit in OKC situation. Like there's still so much potential. The guy can rebound, the guy could pass the ball. He's a playmaker. Like we have no idea how good this guy could be like facilitating an offense. Yes, he couldn't shoot. Yes, he didn't play great against Dallas and he was exposed, but like we've seen players develop jump shots. Like if this man can just develop a jump shot, which should take maybe 3-4 seasons to be a consistent high volume shooter, like this guy, I feel like Josh Giddey could be a problem. The problem I have with this trade is the fact that the Bulls didn't get a pick from one of the franchises with the largest treasure chest of picks. I think it's ridiculous considering how good Caruso is as a role player to not get a pick. But yeah, that's the only issue I have. I think like Bulls fans are complaining, like not you guys specifically, but just like Bulls media in general. The headlines I've been seeing are just like why would the Bulls trade Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey? It's like, dude, like, do you guys want to blow it up or not? Like, be fucking for real. If you're gonna blow it up, then blow it up. And I think this is a step in the right direction to actually blow this team up and start from scratch. So
I mean,
I
I
like
did want to
like the young guy to pair with Io and Kobe White. I think he fits their timeline much better than any of these other players.
with Josh Giddey. I do want the Bulls to blow it up. He wasn't the player that I had in mind. I'm just not a fan of his play style. I understand he's young. There is potential there. The thing with, okay, yeah, his shot's not there. We all know that. His defense, he's not that great of a defender. I don't really like that. And as far as the other guards that he has around him, Lonzo, I understand Lonzo has been playing. There's a great chance he might not ever play again. And I feel like that's why they have brought in Josh Giddey, drafted Dalen Terry the other year with Kobe White and also Io. I just really doesn't think he fits the mold around that. And to be honest, I feel like this trade will make a little bit more sense as the offseason goes on. And once the trade deadline in February comes around, and hopefully by then they'll have made other moves. So when it initially happened, maybe I did judge it a little bit prematurely. I will admit that. But I need to see what else they do this offseason for me to give an actual solid, full take on this trade for Josh Giddey.
Yeah, I'm not too sold on it either because like they have so many guards, I would have liked them see them bring in another big. They get rid of Vooch, and like you said, not bringing in a pick is absolutely insane. Like Sam Presti should be in federal prison because he robbed the Bulls and has been robbing every team of picks. And like, dude, I just don't get it because the Bulls were offered multiple draft picks or like lottery picks for Caruso, and they just trade him up straight up. When do you see straight up trades ever? Like, there's been so many trades that have been with picks involved. You almost never see this anymore for a straight up. I don't know. I just don't know what the Bulls were thinking with that.
I mean, having picks back would have been, it's always ideal, especially with, I know like me and you were talking about this earlier and wanting to blow it up. Picks are a great way to build your team. We're seeing it now recently with the most recent NBA champions, the homegrown teams. Picks are always great. So the fact that they didn't get a pick back, it stings a little bit. It would have been great to see one, just like they have so many. But like as far as, yeah, Alex Caruso is great, but I didn't know if the Bulls asking for Josh Giddey and a pick, I feel like they almost would not have like pulled the trigger on that trade. Whether it was like first or second round, possibly second round, they could have gotten, which is still great. But as far as a first round for like Caruso and Giddey and a first round pick, I almost feel like they wouldn't have pulled the trigger on that if they were OKC, considering all the fleecing that they've been doing the past however many years and all the picks that they have gotten. So it's just what we're going to have to be comfortable with right now.
Yeah, I guess I'm with Victor. This was kind of strange just to do a player swap that has nothing else tied to it. I do think that Josh Giddey could do well for the Bulls. I think we're kind of taking too much into account what happened after, and I'm going to say the allegations, because it was really like, I feel after that thing started to just like, he had to take a lot of time off of basically being on camera, and he was kind of keeping to himself, it seemed like. I just feel like that did a number on him. But when he first joined that team, I thought that he played well within their kind of chemistry or within their team. It seemed like, they were all getting along. And if that hadn't come out, I really do think Giddey would have been even a bigger part of that Oklahoma City Thunder team. So yeah, I guess I have high hopes for him on the Bulls. I think that it could be something good. It's just also to Kevin's point, I don't think that this is not what I had in mind when I said, Bulls need drastic changes. This is something that almost seems like, I don't know. It just seems, I don't know if the right word is like childish, but it not childish. It seems like a kid kind of did this, like was like, okay, yeah, we'll just throw Josh Giddey in there and like start to build up our team. But I don't know if we have enough to kind of back that up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then as for Caruso, I mean, he's a bucket. Thunder are lucky to have him. I know that. And I don't think he's going to move the needle for them because the Thunder don't really need the needle moved, but he will help, I think, so that's just my take on it.
I think defensively they'll improve a lot, man. Just Caruso's such a great defender. NBA players talk about how he's like in that list of top defenders in the league, and just with how the Thunder had top 5 defense last year, I think they're just going to improve.
Definitely one of the things that they needed. I mean, you can always take more defense on a team. And I'm pretty sure I said it earlier too, but I'll just reiterate it. Just that experience is something that they need. They really got great experience this year with being as good as they were, going to the second round of the playoffs, and unfortunately getting knocked off by Dallas, who did move on to the finals. So It's definitely not fluky of them. Their run and how good they were, I will say, is not fluky. I'm glad they're running it back for the most part, but adding great pieces like Caruso. So yeah, Thunder front office has just been cooking, and I think we're gonna have to watch out for them next year for sure. Again,
We want to thank you guys for watching this episode of Good Morning Let's Basketball. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave a rating on Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you guys.